Now, community members from all walks of life have gathered for a prayer night led by Oasis FM at the Jeffreys Bay Amphitheatre. SABC News Reporter Lubabalo Dada is there and joins us now live. Lubabalo, thank you so much for your time this evening. Now, according to the latest information, the fire is in St. Francis Bay, is under control, but that 2 fires are still burning in Jeffreys Bay. Tell us more about this.
Yes, indeed, we are told that there are still firefighters on some areas as the fire still continues. But it's been a tough week for the firefighters. Almost the whole week they've been battling with the fire that keeps on spreading because of the strong winds. But to get an update, I am joined by the mayor of Kocha municipality to say thank you very much for your time. It's not been easy. The communities here have gathered to pray for the rain, hoping that it will bring an end to the fire that has destroyed the properties and caused significant damages to the surrounding areas. Talk to us about the latest development when it comes to the fires in this area.
Thank you so much. I think they're praying for rain to end the fires, but also to fill our dams. It is extremely dry, which is the cause of the fires is because it's extremely dry. We haven't had good rains all year last year, so it's just a tough drought that we're going into now, and dam levels are low. So they started yesterday morning a fire in St. Francis, just outside of St. Francis at the Krom River. Some properties were under huge threat and we had to evacuate people there. That fire is now under control. About an hour and a half ago we got confirmation from our firefighters on the ground that fire is under control, which is wonderful news. There are still 2 fires which are not under control just outside of Jeffreys Bay. One is in the Smithtown area where helicopters are still giving air support, and then the other one between Humansdorp and Jeffreys Bay in the Boerplaas area, which is we've got teams on the ground fighting there. So we're really keeping an eye on the fires throughout the evening. The wind has died down a bit, but tomorrow the wind is set to pick up again in a different direction. So there is some huge concerns regarding that, but we're really trusting that we'll be able to make some big dents into this fire tonight.
Yes, as you have mentioned, the wind has made it very difficult, so it's still uncertain whether if the fires will end. So is there any plan maybe to declare this area a disaster, or maybe ask for additional resources, as you can see that you are still battling, even though you have added helicopters?
Yeah, we have asked for additional resources from the National Defence Force. We haven't heard from them yet, but working on fire from George has been very helpful. They've sent 2 helicopters. Gift of the Givers have given an aeroplane that's been helping a lot today. So it's been really wonderful to get assistance from other departments. We do, however, need more boots on the ground, actual people extinguishing fires. So that's a huge concern. Our firefighters have been fighting for 2 days straight and they are very tired. We are in the process of declaring this a disaster as well. We've started that process. There's a lot of criteria that you have to meet and so forth, but we are in the process of doing that as well.
And I understand that some of the roads still remain closed. Maybe can you talk to us about that?
The biggest road that's closed currently is the N2. It's been open and closed, the N2 between Humansdorp and Jeffreys Bay. It's been open and closed the whole day as smoke and visibility betters and worsens. We open and close. Traffic is on scene. They are monitoring it, and there's an alternate route through the R102 through Jeffreys Bay, through Humansdorp, and back onto the N2.
Well, we understand that the area also is struggling, it has challenges of water. So how is that also impacting in terms of trying to fight the fire?
Yeah, that puts obvious additional strain on our water infrastructure. We are, however, monitoring it very closely, and at this stage our reservoir level still looks good, and we are reasonably comfortable that we'll be able to continue in the way that we are. We do have some alternative options for filling water tankers and airplanes and so forth, so we're lucky in that sense that we do have some other options as well.
And then we do understand that as well there are areas that have no electricity as a result of that. Has the electricity been restored in those areas, or are there plans to restore electricity in those affected areas?
Yeah, electricity lines were burnt, or poles were burnt, so electrical lines fell on the ground. In St. Francis as well as in Humansdorp. Humansdorp, we were able to, it was our internal network that was damaged, and we were able to restore that quite quickly, and the Humansdorp residents had electricity off just for a short period of time. In St. Francis, however, it was a lot different. It was a lot more difficult circumstances than Eskom. It was on the Eskom line, and they had to work under very difficult circumstances there. They were able to this morning find the fault, then started the repairs, and about 3 o'clock this afternoon it was restored. Power is back on in St. Francis, Cape St. Francis and Oyster Bay.
And no people have been displaced as a result of the fire?
Yeah, there's about 40 people that was displaced. We've in our community halls that we're taking care of there with everything that they need as far as food and bedding and so forth are concerned. There are a few others that also we asked to evacuate, but they were able to find an alternative accommodation.
All right, thank you very much for your time. That was the mayor of Kokha Municipality. Gave us an update of what has been happening this week. So luckily, there hasn't been any loss of life, and we are hoping that it will remain that way without respect to studio.
All right, Lubabalo, thank you so much for that update. That's SABC News reporter there, Lubabalo Dada, giving us an update pertaining to the fires.